Materials. For the hands-on session, we are using a bifurcated vessel on a chip, with a circular cross-section of 1 mm and a 90-degree bifurcation angle. Each of the channel inlets and outlets has a PDMS wall that allows the proper grip of the connectors. This particular chip is the one included in our Quick Start kit. All equipment used must be sterilized before, and the whole process explained below has to be carried out inside a laminar flow cabinet. Chip seeding process. The chip is a delicate device, so to facilitate handling and avoid breaking it, we will place the chip inside a cell culture plate. As the section of the chip is totally circular, we perform two-step seeding process to cover both upper and bottom half of the chip. In our standardized protocol, we use human umbilical vein endothelial cells to simulate a vessel, at a concentration of 1.5 million cells per milliliter. We introduce the medium with the endothelial cells, so that we observe that the whole channel is covered. To avoid contamination and undesired dehydration, we close the 3 punched holes with our plugs. Now it is time to take it to the incubator. This first seeding step will cover the top of the chip, then we have to place the chip upside down. We incubate the chip in this position for 4 hours. After 4 hours, remove the chip from the incubator and repeat the process. We would remove the medium and seed again with the same concentration. In this case, the chip goes into the incubator in this position for another 4 hours. Microfluidic setup. While the chip remains in the incubator, it is time to prepare the microfluidic setup. We usually prefer a peristaltic pump for our experiments, since the peristaltic movement can partially reproduce the heart beating. To connect the chip to the pump, we use tubes, stoppers, and our connectors, designed to fit into the inlets and outlets of our devices. As we are using a peristaltic pump, it generates bubbles, which can disturb the Huvic monolayer. To avoid this, we can prepare a bubble trap using the medium reservoir. Please, we encourage you to see our YouTube video to check the proper assembly of the bubble trap. In this case, the flow is clockwise and therefore the bubble trap has to be placed in this position. This trap consists of a reservoir with the cell culture medium and 2 needles that allow the air to be released and only liquid to be taken up. The needle that brings the flow from the pump to the reservoir must be suspended in the air, allowing the air bubbles to be released. While the needle that brings the flow from the reservoir to the chip must be dipped into the liquid to avoid picking up air. Once the pump is assembled, it is time to prime the tube that connects to the inlet of the chip with cell culture medium. To do this, we turn on the pump and let the medium run through the tube until it reaches the connector for the inlet. Once in this position, we stop the pump and clamp the tube to avoid leaks. The whole system is now ready. Remove the chip from the incubator. Remove the plugs. Insert the tubes on the punched holes with the corresponding connectors. We remove the clamp and turn the pump on again, allowing the medium to flow inside of the chip. Finally, wait a few minutes to check that the flow is stable and no bubbles form. Once everything is checked, it is time for the whole system to be placed in the incubator. Now you are all set.